Okay, this video is going to take you through question number 2, or exercise number 2 on the 3-8 class, in-class prep exercise. And so we are on number 2. This one has no curly braces, so we're making sure we know how to read code that has no curly braces. The key issue is that when there are no curly braces in an if or if-else structure, the compiler treats only one line of code as the respective clause. Alright, that's only one line of code if there are no curly braces. And so we get started on this and we go, you make sure you have your memory locations set up. You have 10, 8, and 6 as the initial values. And remember that we already did this in class where we went if, one line of code, else if, one line of code, else, one line of code. So this is the end of the if-else structure. C is not part of an if-else structure, so you have if. So we start with the new one. Now here's if, one line of code, oops, and there's no else, so that's the end of the if structure. This line of code is not involved in an if-else structure right here or here. So now we start if again, and so here's if, one line of code, else, one line of code, so that ends the if-else structure. Line C, this line here is not part of an if-else structure. So as we go back up to the beginning now, and remember we're not going to look here now, we're going to look at these memory locations that are being updated throughout the program. So the question is A equal to B? Is 10 equal to 8? Which it's not, so this is false. And so therefore it's going to ignore the if clause. And the else if clause is B plus C greater than A. Well, B is 8 and C is 6. And so this is 14 greater than 10, which it is. And so else is going to be ignored here. And there's only one line that can be part of it, of the else clause, because there's no curly braces. So C is assigned whatever B is, which is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10, so 10 is now assigned to C. This line here, not being part of an if-else structure, is always executed. And so C is now going to be assigned whatever B is, which is 8 plus 6. And so 8 plus 6 is 14. So therefore, C is now assigned 14. So we have another if structure here. And so is B, which is 8, is it greater than 14? Well, no, it's not. So just only this line here is the if clause. That's the only one that can be ignored because A does not depend on a Boolean expression. I'm sorry, this line of code does not depend on a Boolean expression. The current value of A is 10. So A is assigned to whatever 10 minus 2 is. So 10 minus 2 is 8. So A is assigned 8. We have another if-else structure here. Is 4 plus B, and B is 8 still. So 4 plus B is 12. Is 12 greater than 14? And 12 is not greater than 14. So C equals B is not going to be executed. This is now going to be ignored. And so else is going to be executed. And so B is assigned whatever C plus 6 is. C is 14. So C is now going to be assigned, I'm sorry, not C, but B is going to be assigned 14 plus 6. So B is assigned 20. And then we do the last one, which is C is assigned B plus A. Well, B is currently 20, and A is currently 8, so C is now assigned 28. All right, and so that is the end of problem 2.